Okay, if everybody could swing, and we're gonna lie down on our backs. So if I could, I'm gonna bend my knees. Okay, now if I could, my hands are on my pubic bone. And I'm just gonna arch my tail a little bit away from me. I just wanna imagine my tail just arcs a little bit. And putting your hands on your abdominals. When you breathe in normally, air goes right into your belly. And when you exhale, it goes a little bit down and in, blow out the air. And can you feel your core muscles just draw a little bit in? Take a deep breath in. And exhale, we're gonna narrow, and can you narrow and just feel those abdominals, blow out the air. And get a little more narrow and feel your core. And breathe in and arch. I'm gonna flip my arms right up to the sky. Now I'm just gonna imagine, I'm gonna over exaggerate. I'm gonna make a little tail and literally see my tail and my sacrum. In my lower back, my sit bones arc away from me. And exhale, can I draw in my core so much that it moves you and stretches your lower back? And can you feel your abdominals from inside? Now inhale, I'm gonna arch and my tail arcs a little bit away from me. And exhale and draw in your core. And stretch. And inhale and arch. And exhale and draw in your core. Now imagine your tail arcs a little bit away from you. And exhale, we're just gonna float one knee into the air. And as it comes close, you're just gonna be soft. And slow to lower. And exhale, one knee can slide right on in. And as it comes in, can you just try to let go and be a little more soft as you bring it a little closer? And one more. Now I'm just gonna put my hands down by my side. And I'm gonna lift my tail a little bit into the air. I just want to feel a little bit of work behind my legs. So I feel my glutes work a little. And when I come down, I can literally see my bones open at my sit bones at my lower back. Your bones literally open out to the sides of Y. And we're going to lift our tail right up and put a little strength right behind our legs. And slowly come down to widen our sits bones. And one more to lift right up. I'm just going to try to put a little load, a little strength into my glutes. I'm going to take one leg and extend one leg. I'm going to lower my tail all the way down and let it drop. Now we're going to lift right up and put a little strength behind our glutes. And lower the tail right down. And lift right up. And one more. Lower. And lift. Good. We're going to extend one leg. And lower my tail all the way down. And lift up. And lower. And lift. Lower my tail and lift. And lift. Good. And come down. Okay, now just when you feel you're laying down like you're in a little bridge, try to actually feel your toes a little bit. So I'm going to wiggle my toes a little bit. I'm going to move them to the sides. I can just imagine my arch spreads a little bit out. And I'm actually going to try to pull my toes a little bit in and feel that arch of the foot right underneath me. Can you feel that arch? So I'm going to have my toes spread a little bit out. And I'm going to bring my toes a little bit in. Now imagine if you lift up your big toe and your pinky toe at the same time. Can you feel the arch of your footwork a little bit? We're just going to put that down. I'm just going to lift up pinky toe and big toe at the same time. And come down. And one more, and feel that arch lift right up, pick up big toe and pinky toes. Good, and come down. Now, if I were to lift up, I'm just gonna try to simulate a little walking. So if I lift up my inside heel, can you feel the big toe? It's like a little arch lift, and I'm gonna bring it down. Let's do that a couple times on one side. I'm just gonna feel big toe and the arch, and come down. And big toe and arch. And we'll alternate. I'm just gonna feel big toe and arch lift a little. On one side, it's a little mini lift. I'm feeling my big toe and the inside of my heel lift up. And big toe and the inside of the heel. I'm gonna try a little bit like a jump. So I push down with my big toe. Can I push that foot a little bit up? I'm gonna try to press and lift up the arch of my foot like a little jump. So I press down and lift. And press down and lift. Good. I'll try some on the other side. I'm going to press down and lift. Down and lift. And lift. And lift. And I can lift up both feet. If you lift up both feet, I'm going to put my hands up. And lift. And lift. And lift. And lift. Good. I'm going to bring my knees up into the air. I'm taking a deep breath in, just the simplest thing. If I were to raise my hands down, I could gently lift my head. If I want to keep my neck down, I can, but can you just take your legs up to a diagonal just to feel your core? And I'm going to bend my knees in. And take a deep breath in. I'm just going to reach everything out, just easy where the neck and shoulders are. If you want to leave your head down, that's absolutely all right. And back. And one more, I'm going to extend all the way out, like a little V. And come down. Okay, and just I'm going to placing my feet down, big toes down. I'm going to work. I'm going to lift my tail. I'm going to work the backs of my legs. I'm just going to do a little shift. So my side shift, I'm just going to move my hips a little or a lot to the right, and a lot to the left. We're just going to do a little side, side, and side, side, and side, and side. I could just lower my tail a little bit more, and lower my tail a little bit more. Good, I'm going to come all the way down. Now my knees are going to go up into a chair. I'm going to do single leg stretch. I'm going to take one knee and pull on the knee. I'm going to extend the other leg up to a high. I'm just going to switch and change. And change. And change. Now your head can either be up or down. If you feel like it's more comfortable with it down, leave it down. Change. And change. Then I'm going to rest. Okay, I'm going to take my legs up to the sky and my arms up to the sky. I'm going to take a deep breath in and catch my knees. And breath in. And exhale. And breath in and exhale. And one more. Good, rest. Good. I'm going to pull on one leg and bring it close to me. I'm just going to give a little stretch, give it a little pull, and I'm going to switch and change and a little pull. And a little pull and change. And a little pull. And a little pull. And a little pull. And a little pull. Good, I'm going to rest and come down. Good, I'm going to add a few of these. I'm going to take my knees and do a little diagonal diamond. I'm just going to lower the diamond a little. And exhale, I'm going to lift my core. And feel my abdominals from inside. And lower just a little. And exhale, lift. Lower just a little diamond and lift. And one more and lift. I'm going to bring that in. Okay. I'm going to try, next we'll do crisscross. I'm going to put my hands behind my head. I'm going to go right elbow to left knee. I'm going to crisscross and change. I'm going to crisscross and change and change and change. And I'm going to rest and come down. Good. Okay. Let's try, we're going to do a little walk up the tree. So I'm going to put two hands behind my knee. And I'm going to try to push with the back of my leg. I'm going to work my glute muscle. And I'm going to keep pushing with the back of my leg. I'm going to see if I can push so hard that I can come all the way up and give myself a little stretch. And sit up tall. All right? We're going to come down and slow. And again, I'm using my leg to give myself the push. And I'm going to push and work my glute and bring it all the way up and lift right up out of my lower back and my core. Good. You can point and flex the top, and we're going to come down. And one more breath in. And exhale to come all the way up. Good. I'm going to sit up tall. Good. We're going to bring this a little bit across us, like a little X. Across and a little to the outside. And a little across and a little to the outside. Good. And we're going to come down slow. Okay. I'm going to switch so the other leg can come in. Take a deep breath, inhale. I'm going to bow a little bit forward. I'm going to use the back of my glute. So I push with my hamstring. I'm going to use that leg to get myself to come all the way up to the top. And we're going to come down slow and take our time and push with our glute to bring it all the way in. And take a deep breath in. And exhale to come all the way up. And roll down. And one more breath in to come all the way up. Good. I'm going to give myself a little stretch here. I can point and flex the foot at the top. I'm going to bring this a little bit across my body. And stretch. Okay. We're going to come down. I'll put my feet down. And ready to do some seated exercises. Now, if I'm seated, I can either bend my knees a tiny bit, or I can get a little pillow and put it underneath my bottom. If that makes it more comfortable, do that. Okay, either way. But I'm just bending my knees a tiny, because it's more important that you lift up out of your lower back. So literally imagine your tail arcs a little bit away from you. And can you lift here at your collar, your clavicle? I'm going to take my arm straight ahead and take a deep breath in. I'm just going to pitch forward like a straight line. Can I draw in my core and stretch my lower back a little? And come right up and lift right up and breathe right on it. And exhale, just the simplest thing. If I draw in my core so much, can I curve? I can even stretch those ribs a little bit up at the top. And can I curve my upper back? And come right up one more. Breath in. And exhale to pitch forward. And come right up, good. I'll take the arms out like a little X to the side. This is the spine twist. So I'm going to turn to one side, and I'm going to reach for my pinky toe. Palm can face up at back. Good, so I'm gonna stack it up all up. Make a T like a house. It's okay if you bend your knees a mini. Turn and stretch and reach for the toes and draw on your core. And breath in. And spiral. And turn and stretch. And come right back. And one more. Twist and spiral and reach. Right. And come back. Good. This is the spine twist. I'm just going to sit up as tall as I can and lift right up out of my lower back. Can I just turn the head only? And then the collar. And then can you feel your right belly? I'm going to come back and then just going to bend my knees a little so I lift up more out of my lower back. I'm just going to turn and spiral. And come back. And breath in and turn. And one more. And spiral and turn. Good. Okay, let's do some rowing exercises, all right? Now I'm going to lift right up out of my lower back. This comes from the reformer exercises. I'm going to have my palms face each other. Now, if you want to use some optional weights, you could just put some optional weights in your hand for this part, if you want to, okay? So if you can also do it without the weights too. But I'm just going to inhale and just to hinge back and make a straight line. And come right on in. I'm just going to inhale and hinge back. And one more to hinge back. Good. I'm going to toss up to the sky. I'm going to pitch forward on a diagonal line, almost like a straight line. I'm going to roll my hands right behind my back. I'm going to touch my hands behind my back. I'm going to stretch my shoulders. I'm going to circle the arms around so it's like a bird. My palms face up to the sky. I circle them around and look at my hands again. We're going to inhale to hinge back. Toss up to the sky and reach. I'm going to pitch forward. I'm going to put my hands behind my back. A little stretch. Open and circle around. Good. One more to pitch back. And toss up to the sky. And row right behind your back. And open to circle. And look at your palms. Is that all right for everybody? It's okay. Good. Now we're going to try a second variation of rowing. Now you can round back. If you have any osteo, you might want to substitute a flat back. The exercise is almost exactly the same if you do. Okay, but what I'm going to do is my knuckles touch together. I'm going to curl my tailbone. And I'm going to pull this right to my sternum. Keep the spine up. I'm going to lift right up out of my lower back. It's okay if you bend your knees a little. And again, you pitch forward like a diagonal line. And can you draw on your core? I'm going to open to stack up my spine and have my palms go together. And round to curve. Open, sit up tall, and shape right over. Stack it up tall. One more and round, curve. Open, make a star. Sit up tall, shape right over. Good. I'm just going to bend my knees and sit up tall. A couple more rowing exercises. I'm going to make a flat in my back up to a diagonal reach, like a little reach. Lightly tap. I'm going to lightly lift up. I'm going to see my hands and draw a little circle with my hands in front. So it's just out, up, lightly tap. Fingertips up. It's okay if you bend your knees a little. Circle around. One more, lightly tap. Fingertips up, circle, and open. Good. Now this is the last of the rowing series here. I'm going to reach for my toes and stretch for my toes. I'm going to stack up my spine tall. I'm going to open and circle the arms. And breath in and exhale and reach for the toes. Sit up tall. Open and circle one more. And breath in and exhale and reach for the toes. Stack it up tall. Open and circle. Is that all right for everybody? Okay, we're going to go and do some extension exercises next. If you could, we're going to lie on your belly button, face down. So I'm just going to lie face down. You can go whatever way you want, Sam. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to put my hands under my forehead. I'm going to draw my core muscles in and up. Now, if we lift just one leg in the air, I just want to feel my core muscles lift, my pubic bone lift, and my core. Can I just get that leg working a little bit? I'm just going to put a little strength and work that leg. And slow to lower. So I'm just going to draw on my core and lift up one leg and lower and lift to come right up. You want to feel your glute, but you don't want to feel the exercise above your tail. And lower, good. Now we're going to try the other exercise. We're going to lift the other leg and lower and lift and draw on your core and lower and lift and lower. One more and lift and lower, good. Now if you draw on your core, can you lift up both legs and lower and draw on your core and lift? And one more and lift. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to bend my knees into 90 degrees without letting my knees lower. Can you feel your inner thighs and your inner shins? I'm going to straighten these legs. Work my glutes and bend my knees just into 90 degrees without letting them lower. And exhale to straighten and work right behind those glutes. And one more. Bend the knees in a little. And straighten. Okay, now I'm going to work my upper body a little bit. If I just put my hands under my forehead, I'm just going to lift up my hands and my forehead and my hands and my core. And can you just lift up a little and slow to lower? So I'm just going to draw on my core. My pubic bone reaches down. My abdominals lift right up. And it's just the simplest thing. And one more to come up. Okay, I'm going to try this. My hands down by my sides. I'm just going to press a little bit up. Can you draw in your core muscles? Now I'm going to tip a little bit forward. Now if I tip forward, can you rock and lift your legs in the air? I'm going to prop myself, press a little bit up and draw your core muscles in and up. I'm going to come down and do a little rock and lift my legs in the air. And rock. And lift. And I can even, if I get a little more playful with this, I can actually toss it and catch it. Toss and catch. Just watch your nose. And toss and catch. And toss and catch. Now, if I really want to be playful, I can throw it and catch it. See that? I just throw it forward and catch it. And throw it and catch it. And throw it and catch it. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, a little classic Pilates. I'm going to put my elbows down. The thing is, if my shoulders are falling into the ground, what I'm going to do is lift my spine right up and pull in my core. I'm just going to let it fall a little bit down, and I'm going to lift right up. Now pull in your abdominals in and up. I'm just going to kick my heel to my bottom and extend. Alternating, I'm just going to kick my heel, double kick, and extend. And it's a little click, click, like I kick out the air. And kick out the air. and kick out the air, and kick out the air, and kick out the air, and lower. Good. Is that all right? Okay. That's a little classic Pilates single leg kick. I'm going to do another one. This is to stretch our shoulders out. I look to one side and I tap my elbows to try to get them to reach downward. My heels go together. I'm going to double kick my bottom, kick, kick. I'm going to extend and lift my chest up and stretch everything out. So I come right up into a straight arc. I'm going to look to the other side and double kick and extend and come right. And look to the side and double kick and extend right up and double kick and come right up. Good. Now this is one I learned from one of my mentors, Julian. I'm going to click my heels 5 times. I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to open my arms and count to 10. Every 10, I'm going to raise a little more. Every 10, raise a little more. Every 10, raise a little more. Every 10, raise a little more. And every 10, raise a little more till I'm over the head and easy and raise a little more. I'm going to lift up my left arm and right leg and I'm going to swim and change. 2, 3, 4. And rest. Okay, that was my, that's a combination I got from my first mentor, Julian Littleford. I'm going to sit toward my heel and stretch. Okay, I'm going to go right over my hands. And we're just going to get right over our hands and draw on our core. We're in tabletop position. Now, if tabletop bothers you, you could do elbows or wrists, whatever feels better. Okay, I'm just going to come up into tabletop, take a deep breath in. I'm going to draw on my core and I'm just going to extend an arm and a leg. So I'm just going to take one leg back. If I can hold it, can I take one arm out and hold it and feel your abdominals in the middle? And lower it down and lower it down. So just the simplest thing, and draw your core muscles in and up. I'm just going to take a leg and an arm and see if you feel the X right in between. And lower it down. And we'll extend an arm and a leg. And we'll extend an arm and a leg. Now I'm going to stay here, almost like an X. I'm going to take my arm to the side and my leg to the side. And I'm going to bring it back to the middle. Same arm and same leg. I'm going to take it out to the side. And back to middle. And one more. And balance. Good. I'm going to put my hands down. Keeping that leg in the air, I'm going to bend my knees into 90 degrees. Trying not to lower that knee, I'm going to extend my leg and work my glute. So I'm going to bend that knee in, like my heel goes straight up to the sky. And I'm going to extend. And bend. And extend. And bend. And extend. Good. You bring your heel right up to the sky. I'm just going to do little pulses at the ceiling. So I'm going to kick the air. Good. I'm going to extend my leg up to a diagonal. I'm going to do little circles. And little circles. And lower it down. Good. Okay, and we'll stretch. Okay, to do the other side, I'm just going to extend an arm and a leg and lower it down. Just going to extend an arm and a leg, same arm. Tricep right underneath you. An arm and a leg. Good, I'm gonna take that out to the side. I'm gonna open the arm to the side. I'm gonna exit right over my head. So I'm gonna take the arm to the side, the leg to the side, and straight over my head, one more. Good, little bounce, good. Okay, your leg is still in the air. I'm gonna bend my knee 90 degrees. I'm gonna straighten. I'm gonna bend my knee in 90 degrees. I'm gonna straighten and bend and extend. And one more, and extend. Good, without lowering my heel, I'm gonna bend that heel straight up to the sky, and little pulses, little kicks up to the ceiling. Extension, I'm gonna have little circles. And little circles the other way. And lower down, good. And I'm gonna stretch and sit toward my heels. Okay, and stretch. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go on to our sides. If you could, we'll just lie down on your side. If you want to use a pillow for your head, you can. Or yeah, I could just take my arm and rest on my arm. I'm gonna bend my knees and swing it into a chair. I'm gonna pull my core muscles in and up from below. Can you feel your abdominals narrow? I'm just gonna open a knee and close and draw in your core muscles. And open and close. Open and close and open and close. I'm going to lift my knee in the air. I'm going to go knee to knee, heel to heel, knee to knee, heel to heel. And can you draw your core muscles in and up? And breathe so much that you feel it in your lungs wide, in your sides. Good. I'm going to extend the leg. I'm going to straighten that leg like a straight line. I'm going to lift this leg and lower and lift and lower, lift and lower. Then I'm going to lift this leg up. I'm going to go a little bit forward. I'm going to go a lot to the back behind me. And a little forward. And a lot to the back. And a little forward. And up into the back. And a little forward. Into the back. We'll do little circles up a little bit behind us. And reverse those circles. Okay, take a moment, recover. You could just massage your bottom, just take a minute, just recover from that. Okay. Last one we're going to do is our rotation. So I'm going to lift up my leg and rotate. I'm going to turn my leg out and bring my leg a little in front. Or like if you were dancing, it's like a passe or a little rotation. I'm going to rotate that knee downward, and I'm going to bring it up to the sky and a little bit up and away. So I'm going to rotate. And as I do this, I start to get a little more liberal. I can open my chest up to the sky like a little counter rotation. And I'm going to bring that away from me and up to the sky and away. Now, you might know this if you did class with me last week, but I'm going to rotate and look right to Sam, and she's going to rotate. And we're going to rotate a little X away from us. And if you want to interpret the movement in any way, shape, or form, you can. And rotate. And rotate and spiral. And rotate and spiral. Good. And rest. Everybody's all right? Okay, I'm gonna go to the other side. Okay, so I started with a little bent knee. I'm gonna lift the leg up, little rotation, and down and draw in my core. So every time I do this, I pull my core in and up so much that you feel your abdominals lift, that you pick it right up. And lift. Good, I'm gonna lift up. I'm gonna go knee kisses my knee, external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. Good. Okay, I'm gonna straighten this leg and draw your core muscles in and up. I'm gonna narrow and lift right up and lower and lift and lift. And lift right up. Good, I'm gonna lift this leg up and lift up my lower abdominals. I'm gonna go forward and back. And if I lift this leg up a little bit, of course, I'm gonna feel it. And draw your core muscles. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. Good. Now little circles up to the sky, a little behind me. And reverse the circles. Good. And I'm gonna rest and come down. Take a moment, just massage, you can recover. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna rotate and open my knee up. This is gonna be my bit of rotation. I'm gonna open that knee and try to bring it as close to me as I can. And then I'm gonna reach it up and away. Up to a high. And I start turning my knee open and rotate, and I bring it a little in front. And then I bring it up to a high and away and lift the leg. And rotate, external rotation, internal rotation, and lift. External rotation, and lift. And I can even start to get a little more fluid with my movement. You want to incorporate your upper body, reach in two directions. You can spiral. And spiral. Good. Okay, thanks guys. That's our glute work. We're gonna sit right up. I'm gonna swing my legs to the side. And hopefully I can rock a little bit onto this hip. So to stretch my hip a little bit, I'm putting my hand on my bottom. I'm gonna lift my tail. I'm gonna roll right onto this hip a little bit, so that's a little hip stretch. And then I'm gonna pull this a little bit down. So I'm gonna pick up my tail. And I can roll a little on this hip. This kind of looks like pigeon pose. I'm going to pull it right down. And one more. I could even look over my shoulder that way. Okay. Okay, we'll do a little mermaid. I'm going to draw a little arc. Think my head's like the top. And we're going to draw a beautiful arc. Good, and come back. And we'll go up and over. And one more. Good. Now I'm going to rotate and turn my inside as much as my outside. Feel my right belly. I'm going to turn back to the front and come back. Good. I'm going to go up and over and draw. I'm going to spiral. Turn back and come back. And one more. And spiral and rotate. Turn back and come back. Good. Okay. We're going to flip around the other way. I'll swing my legs to the inside. I'm just going to put my hand on my bottom and lift my tail. I'm going to rotate onto this bottom so I stretch my hip. And I'm going to pull this down. So it's like a little hip movement. If I lift this tail right up off the ground and then just pull it down. And one more to lift right up and down. Good. I'm going to stretch. My head's the top. I'm going to draw an arc right over the top. And I'll stretch my side. And come back. And up and over. And come back. And one more. Good. I'm going to spiral and rotate. Turn down. Turn back. And come back. And one more. And spiral and rotate and turn downward. And turn back and come back. Good. Okay. Was that all right, guys? That was all right? Okay. We're going to do a little bit of side plank. I'm just going to do the prep today. So to get into a little side plank, actually, let's do it on our elbow. I'm just going to put my knees together, and I'm going to make them like a straight line. So I'm just going to kick my hamstrings a little bit up, and I'm going to kick this forward and lift my chest up. And come down. So my knees are together. I'm just going to kick this a little bit forward and up and get those glutes to work. And slowly to pull it back. And one more. Now, if you want to do the full version with the legs extended, you can, or you could stay with the knees bent. It's your options. You have options to do.